My name is Ozymandias. Oh, shit. You were expecting more, weren't you? Sort of more ominous, powerful welcome, something to fit the atmosphere I built. You know, the mirror just generally my chamber, quite an atmospheric sort of place. Probably deserves more than a hello, my name is. I can see you, sir. I'd already hoped to feel the tingly feeling. I'm embarrassed, it's all right, you know. Feeling when you watch something really rather impressive, you sit there and you sort of shiver, your hairs stand on end, and you think, I really rather like that. I mean, I could give you a taste of my namesake, give you a whole sort of, look upon my works, ye mighty, and... It's in the title, you're probably thinking. I mean, surely this will at least in part be a rousing, dramatic retelling of my namesake, told with poise, style, elocution, and perfect diction that will allow you all to stand and clap. Sorry, that was presumptuous of me. At least to clap. Until the world ends. Or at least till I've had a second bow, whichever comes first. No. I've grown out of all that narcissistic, sort of self-masturbatory stuff, I'm afraid. You go quite tired of masturbating yourself, in my experience. At first it's tingling and great. After a while, it just gets a bit numb. Just a little bit numb. And so, you begin to externalize this desire to masturbate. You begin to look to others to give you a helping hand. That's why you're here, isn't it? You bunch of voyeurs. Crowding round in the hope that I might be impressive. Or embarrassing enough to be amusing. Just so long as I'm not so embarrassing as to be embarrassing. But you know what I mean, when you see something just awful. At first you're tittering, biting the insides of your mouth, and then slowly, you try to stop, and you think, that poor bastard, he spent hours, days, weeks of his miserable life pouring himself into that. Oh. But not here, no, of course not here. You are here for an evening with the King of Kings. What does that entail? It's hard to describe, really. I mean, I can promise you some protection. How about that? A little bit of protection for you all. Because you've all come here with expectations, haven't you? Expectations of what is to occur. Masturbation, tingling, or otherwise. You can't escape having them expectations, that is. I mean, they're a bit like facial lines in that sense. You look confused. Are you confused? I was confused. Did you know, in 93% of us, there are tiny little insects that scamper around your face, eating the dead ends? Demodex! Hate yourself? Not a problem. Rub against someone with Demodex. 6 months later, a whole new view to look at the world. But at what cost? They're disgusting. Does anyone know what they look like? Has anyone ever seen those, tiny microscopic photos you get of bed bugs or mites, and you see them sort of all hunched with the proboscis? Demodex are a lot like that. Sort of longer, more sausage-like. You all, or most of you, have hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny, hungry sausages eating your faces right now. jolly. Look at you all here. For me. For little old Ozymandias. But do we all say hello to each other? Do we all know each other? I want a comfortable working atmosphere. Everybody please greet your neighbour, wave to someone across the circle, even if you know them. I will wait and watch. Go on! Good, good. While we're at it, anybody romantically involved? Anybody wish to share a more calm greeting? A kiss. Really takes you back. You know, every time I see another's happiness, I get a fleeting glimpse of my own. I mean, not enough to actually make me happy, but enough to remember I might have been happy once. It's really quite depressing, isn't it? Still feel a little bit tight, a little bit tense. I want everybody, on the count of 3, to breathe out and let all your air dissipate into the atmosphere. So 1, 2, 3. And breathe in 3, 2, 1. Feel the emissions of others rush into you. Who needs their carnal greetings when you can share CO2? What can be more erotic than that? You'll take it for granted, aren't you? Do you know that every time you breathe, you are breathing in the sun's rays, transmuted by plants, obviously, but you're still sucking in the cosmic energy of the dying star to fuel your inefficient little body. You don't thank the sun, do you? Do you? You never stop in the middle of the day and go, thank you, giant self-immolating martyr of the heavens for burning for me. No, you probably thank science or God. You think it's bad being nailed to a bloody tree, try being set on fire for all eternity for ingrates like you. Sorry. It was a rant, wasn't it? I said I wouldn't rant in these situations. I like to entertain, and ranting is not normally conducive to entertainment. You see, I am Ra's sole representative on this mortal plane. You know, Ra, God of all gods, God of the sun, the Ozymandias is represented, probably why you're here, probably why you've heard of me. So I get a little tetchy. Just a little tetchy when I see somebody not appreciating the sun. Won't happen again. I feel a bit less tense. There, the string is strung, goose is good, blackness was shrugged. All that. You're still staring. Lapping up my form. You probably want to entertain them, don't you? It's a pity, really, I don't entertain as much as I used to. My moment in the limelight came and went eons ago. I was dust in the desert, little else. Forgotten by all of the most dry, virginal of historians. But then something rather curious happened. Percy wrote his little piece, which you should all have in front of you, or at least have read by now. Though evidently a snub, I mean, good publicity doesn't normally focus on your smashed-up face, propensity for sneering and arrogance, and positive attributes, but hey, who am I to complain? All publicity is good publicity and all that. Brought me back into the limelight. Revitalized my career. It's ironic, isn't it? A cautionary sonnet regarding the transience of all things, and open the door to immortality for me. Ozymandias the immortal, so long as you all watch. Immortality is tricky, though. Once you stray from the linear path of time, you begin to lose track of things. In order to entertain you all, I need to think like a man again. Think like you all, in other words, think below my station. You see, I am a loose amalgamation of my constituent parts. I was legs, face, now I have body, voice. You need to put me back together again. I'm a bit like Humpty Dumpty, but with fewer eggs. You're still staring even after that. Desperate, aren't you? You know, I often get the feeling you're looking at me in the manner you would look at a god. So I am a god. Yes. Yes, a god, ladies and gentlemen. I've always thought so. I mean, there are a few reasons. Would you care to hear? First, I'm immortal. How many non-deities do you know that are immortal? Not many, I wager. Second, it would explain why I feel so much better than you all. And frankly, I really do. You are all terrible. And third, you all paid tithes to see me, didn't you? You paid the acolyte who guards the entrance to my chamber a sum of money to bask in my presence. Count yourselves lucky. There was a time, 1260, 1250 BC, where people would bring me chests of jewels just for a chance and a glance. I was the King of Kings. And now, I mean, you're all still staring, but it's a vacant, fish-eyed sort of stare. But I don't know. If Gary Barlow walked through that door now, you would be on your knees, prostrating yourself before the Barlow. Why? Why Barlow and not Ozymandias, I ask myself. And then it hit me. A bolt from the blue. I had failed to move with the times. Pharaohs just aren't in anymore. So I brought something along to modernize myself a bit. Make myself relevant for you lot. Now during this next section I will be passing round a collection bowl, into which I would be grateful if you would place any jewels, finery, valuables of any sort, as recompense for this acoustic feast. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see something no mortal has ever witnessed. The King of Kings on the guitar, playing a well-loved 80s classic, immortalized forever by the Bangles. The ball should be going round, youngster. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Walking on paintings on the tomb with the satin stones, you know. If they were to fundamentally misguided. It's the vulgar realm. Leave it down. Well, they should practice that a bit more. I thought I might be able to wing it. Maybe not. The reincarnated avatar of the God of all gods. I can't even fill a bloody bowl! Joking, of course. Who wants to be Gary Marlowe? Huh? No, who wants to be another guitar-strumming fool? Not me. Not Ozymandias. I have much more lasting fame. I am eternal, unlike Barlow. How do I do it? That's the question on your lips, isn't it? How do I get lucky enough to ride over the sunset on my rainbow bicycle, carried only by the love, dreams, and entrusted sexual fluid of my ardent followers? I will tell you. You've all no doubt heard the age-old adage that it's all a matter of self-belief. Believe in yourself and you can achieve anything. Wrong! 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 Self-belief is just narcissism wrapped up in a pretty little bow to make it socially acceptable. And I abhor narcissism in every shape and form. It's an addiction that needs constant fueling, and I'm glad I gave it up long ago. No, it is not a matter of believing you're better. It is a matter of being better. Being better at anything you choose to throw yourself at, and choosing a mask that others would kill to wear. Speaking of masks, by the way, seen a few of you looking at my face. Not my mask, my face. Few of you have probably sat there and wondered what such a striking image could mean. Who has entertained the possibility that the cleft in my face might represent the duality of the two parts of my warring soul? Anyone, raise a hand if you think it's plausible. No? No one at all. Good. You did, you're a pretentious bastard. Duality of my warring soul. No! Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to put Vaseline on. 2,000 years standing in the desert and not a drop. Who else uses Vaseline? Who else loves a greasy smear on their lips? Or really wherever? No, I know you do. But have you considered that you are slaves to petroleum jelly? Your lips crack like my poor face as soon as you stop smearing, don't they? Physical addiction, fueled by narcissism. Some lucky bastards have heroin. You, ladies and gentlemen, have petroleum jelly. So please, stop. Rebel against the lip tyranny before it is too late for I and Vaseline's logical conclusion. And so, I am forced to look in the milk. Cleopatra bathed in milk, and I really would love to. I just can't afford that much milk. So I have to look instead. And I see me. Pure, perfect Ozymandias. And then he ruins it. Did you know, the longer that you look in a mirror, the more liable you are to see your features change. More than about 15 minutes and your mind just cannot cope. Begins to distort, morph, shift, make monstrous. What if it isn't change, though? What if it's recognition? Recognition that at heart everything is flux. I look in the mirror and I always see me. Eternally me. Stuck. For only a true mirror will show you the falseness of your sight. Showing you the falseness of your sight. That really was terrible. I am sorry. God. But I am wearing a mask today. You may not have realized, a few of you are more observant and may have seen. But we all know that we wear masks, don't we? Every day. We put on happy masks, sad masks, quiet masks, raving masks, screaming masks. And we perform for each other. We spend so long looking at our loved ones, wondering, what's going on underneath? What's trying to bubble its way out? How are you? Are you all right? No. But what if the mask is the wearer, the performer, just a view? I used to be perfect. Who believes in me? Do you see me, or do you see him? Do you see him, or do you see me? Your Demodex are working rather slowly. In you I see hints of what I once felt. Love, pain, curiosity, sadness. You see where they left their marks on me. You can kiss me if you like. That would be a no then. Well, you're too young for me anyway, sweetheart. Have to write a cautionary sonnet about you, then maybe we can talk. But thank you. Thank you all. It is not often I feel so complete. I have fed on you all. A traveller from an antique land saved me once, but he did a pretty poor job. He saved half a broken memory. I am a poetic nothing, clinging to this world via another's words. It's a lonely life. But you, dear sweet you, you've saved me. You've listened. You've heard. You've loved. You're beautiful. You're all real. I am but half. Immortal, yet a memory. And so please remember me. Not just for Vaseline or Demodex, but as a god whom you willingly paid your tithes to see. And I trust I was all you wished for. But you mustn't leave. I can't slip back again into that which lies behind it all. So please, stay as long as you like. In fact, I forbid you to leave. Ozymandias, the King of Kings, has spoken. Now gaze.